Yesterday, Rob Stone said that he criticized the U.S. women's national team for the 13-0 win, saying that they should have pulled back a little bit, knocked it around a little bit. And Rob got roughed up on social media. The Un-American Rob Stone joining us. Hey, Rob, how are you? Hey, Rob. And just like that, he's gone.
USA cut his phone line.
Yeah.
He hung up on you.
Apparently, the ugly American.
Call me on anti-American.
Yeah.
I have a bad phone line in payback.
If you missed any of the interviews, including Rob Stone, you can go to the Dan
Probably
Patrick.
one of his better appearances.
Yes, Dan Patrick Show app where you can watch and listen from inside the Mercedes-AMG Man Cave. Mercedes-AMG driving performance. Fritzy working feverishly to get Rob Stone back. Fritzy, is Rob there with us?
He's back.
All right. Rob, how are you?
Hey, once you told me social media went after me, I just hung up the phone. I'm not going to today. Come on, man. We got a triple header of great games going on today. You mean social media is angry? They're surly about something? What a surprise!
Yeah, I know.
What a surprise.
Okay.
It's really been it's been an amazingly divisive issue, hasn't it?
Yes. Yes. Did you realize at the time, because there's two issues at play here, Rob, it's scoring and celebrating. I have no problem with scoring. Yeah. I had a problem when the late goals and the amount of celebrating. I just think, you know what? It's Thailand. Save your energy. You're going to need it.
Yeah, man, there's even more levels to that in my book. But that was I think the big thing is optics, right, Dan? We're sitting here as fans with a team that we're really proud of and has carried this mantle for soccer and the women's game for decades across the globe. And then to see them really just kind of take Thailand out to the woodshed. And the damage had been done. This game was over. This team was beaten. Messages had been sent. I just didn't see, me personally, this is just me being a kind, generous human being. I think that this is over. This is done. We're not learning anything more from this. And Dan, also, this wasn't a level playing field. You can say yes, all 24 nations deserve to be here at the World Cup, and in some fashion they did. But if you're telling me U.S. and Thailand were on equal footing economically, in the setup, in the talent of these players, it's a joke. And it wasn't level footing. You know, this wasn't Brazil, Germany at the Men's World Cup several years ago where Germany put a thumping on Brazil. Those two nations were on equal footing. This wasn't. This was a mismatch to start with. But look, their job is to win, right? Their job is to win the day. Their job is to win the Women's World Cup. I have 100% respect in what they did. But as I sat there watching it, as a soccer fan, as a soccer connoisseur, as a parent, as a fan, as a human being, I said, enough is enough. You know, I was looking for a towel to throw in, and I said, I don't think we need to see this anymore. And then for them to continue to score, that was a tough pill. But to see the celebrations hurt. It hurt me because, to me, it reeked of an ugly American. It reeked of American arrogance, and that is something I've tried for so long in my life to avoid. Having said that, you do have to take a step back, Dan, and realize that these women have sacrificed their lives, have sacrificed years of blood, sweat, tears, time away from loved ones, done everything they can to get to this stage. And then when you get to this stage and you score a goal, boy, that is awfully hard to mute a celebration. I think in the end, a lot of people would have been happier if, had you scored, there was a hug, there was a high five, and you turned around and you went back up and you said, let's kick it off, let's play again.
Yeah. Well, now you got Chile coming up, and if the world rankings that I've been following closely are true, then Chile is worse than Thailand. Right.
So we could be dealing with this again Sunday here in Paris on Father's Day. And, you know, the U.S. women, the reaction is trickling into their camp. We had Megan Rapinoe on our air earlier in the day, and she said, you know, if there's anything we need to be blamed for, it's an overabundance of energy and joy. And again, I do understand the happiness, and yes, you should celebrate a goal. But again, at that point, in that stage, piling on, because it was a flurry of goals in the last handful of minutes, that you just kind of said at some point, again, as a being, enough is enough. As a competitor, I 100% understand where they are coming from, that you play until the final whistle. You play to win the game, as our friend Herm Edwards likes to say. And with that viewpoint, you're looking at these athletes who are at the absolute top tier of what they do, and you say, I am trained. I am trained to keep going. I'm trained to keep hunting. You're going to tell that dog to stop hunting? Good luck with that.
Also, we're talking to Rob Stone, the Fox Sports Women's World Cup host, joining us from Paris. You know, the whole equal pay here. If I took a poll in the United States of would you rather watch the women play or the men play, who wins?
Oof. I think if you're talking U.S. national teams, my guess is you might get a few more votes for the women's team than the men. I don't know. I think overall people would prefer to see the men's World Cup over the women's World Cup, but women's soccer as a whole is a 100% growth industry, and it's really led by the U.S. It's led by what France is doing here this summer as well, and part of the drive of this World Cup and what we've seen up until that game, Dan, was that nations have closed the gap. Argentina, in their first World Cup in 2 decades, was able to earn a point with Japan, who are runners-up 4 years ago. A huge moment for that country and really for that region of the world. We've seen other smaller countries make a big dent early on here at the Women's World Cup. And there was the conversation that everybody's kind of catching up to the U.S.'s, to the Germanys, to the French, and that's a good thing. But then you see, again, the optic of that 13-0 lambasting, and you say, look, the U.S. women's national team has been the leader on this front for really as far as we know as soccer fans. And to see what they did kind of humble a country, it didn't sit well when we're trying to grow this game. And some people will counter, Dan, that say, you know what, these are the type of results that women's soccer needs because it sends messages to those countries, to those federations, to FIFA, to the people supplying the funds to these programs to say more needs to be invested, more time, more money, more coaching experience, more education, more player development. And that's an argument that you can make and I can buy. But in the end, I just kind of bend my knees and I inhale and exhale and I say, if you just got out of there at 9-0, 10-0, I don't think anybody would be making a big storm about this, right?
Keep stirring it up over there, Rob. We appreciate it, and we'll be watching later today.
Thanks, buddy. You got my number. Call me anytime.
That's Rob Stone, Fox Women's World Cup host. He's hosting the pre-match coverage at 11 a.m. Eastern on Fox ahead of Germany versus Spain at noon Eastern, France versus Norway, that's at 3 Eastern. And Rob is part of Fox Sports FIFA Women's World Cup coverage all month long on Fox and Fox Sports 1.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune into Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV. Stream for free on BR Live or download the Dan Patrick Show app.